Welcome to episode number 291 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Where water in your veins is worth 3 in your pinkies.
Something's making a weird noise. I fixed it.
I was very unprepared for that.
Yeah, I know. I got you right when you...
I apologize. Well, I didn't know if I wanted to drink for the intro and then gurgle for the intro, but I thought...
You had the option.
I thought everything would get wet.
Yeah. I mean, it's your mic. You do what you want. You all right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let everybody know right now that we just turned off the AC in this room.
Yes.
And where we live, it's 96 degrees right now.
We're in the heat dome is what they're calling it.
Yeah, no... I don't think anyone's calling it that. You touching your mic?
No, I'm here. My belly fat is...
No, it's... the cable's a little loose. We have been fighting with this microphone. What is this?
Ooh, is it a ghost in the air?
No, it was a hair.
If I move the wire a little bit farther this way... There we go.
Yeah, you can move it. If I adjust it, don't worry about it.
Yep.
So, on the Chronicle... Oh, here, welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food. And in the ongoing chronicles of our set falling apart,
yes,
we now have one super glued light, which actually looks way better.
Right.
I think Tim crushed it.
Thank you.
Still dealing with 2 different mics, one of which is making an odd noise from a loose cable on occasion.
Swing, swing.
And while vacuuming today, Tim tore down one of the coolest posters that's normally behind us.
It's really, every week, it's falling apart.
Eventually, you're going to come to the YouTube video, and it's going to be us in just like an empty cement room. We're going to be recording on the basement stairs.
Yeah, with like cups with wires out of them, string.
Filming it with
There is a potential of all the power going out, too.
Yes, that's right. We started losing power because there's an impending storm.
Yeah.
You got something in your beard right here. Other side? Let me see. Nice. You got that nice thick Brillo beard.
Yo, who's Brillo?
Mine's like what's the metal that's in the shape of a sponge though?
Oh, steel wool?
Steel wool, yeah. You like that description?
I had to look at it just to confirm. It's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very true.
Yours, I don't know why they're both cleaning products, but yours is more Brillo.
I still don't know what Brillo is.
You don't know what a Brillo pad is? It's thick. It's like a thicker...
Sponge?
See, scratch yours. It makes a sound. Don't make the sound while you do it.
But then I get a bunch of skin flakes on my brand new animatronic The Abolisher shirt.
Yeah, Tim is wearing an animatronic shirt.
Which Brett made me pay $30
okay,
for.
I told you
He kicked me in the shins and said, pay me $30, loser.
I did hold him upside down by his ankles and dumped $30 worth of nickels and dimes out of his pockets.
I had them all in my pockets. I was ready for a big lunch. I was going to go to McDonald's and get one burger for $30.
I fixed it.
This is going to be the whole podcast.
Yeah, it really is. I told him this particular run of shirts was printed on very expensive shirts. So for $30, I couldn't technically.
I am treating it as like a collector's item.
I mean, it is.
It's a limited run.
I sincerely don't know if I'll ever print those shirts on comfort colors again. Not because I don't like them, but they are a little more expensive than I'd want them to be. Mm-hmm. And so far, that hasn't stopped anyone from getting them, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, and I'm comforted.
Tim's comforted.
And colored pink in excitement.
Good.
Because it's nice.
That's the exciting color? It's weirdly quiet in here now. Was I just used to the AC?
The AC is a noise that you just kind of become one with.
That's true.
We were singing a lot before setting up.
Maybe we were just being loud.
Yeah, we were just obnoxious.
That's unbelievable. Speaking of obnoxious, can I tell you a love story drenched in pain?
Sure. What a way to describe it.
I'm going to tell you the strange way that my wife and I are connected.
Go on.
So I'm at work yesterday, right?
Yes.
And my job's very physical, and I did something weird and like twisted my knee. And nothing crazy. It felt like a pulled muscle. I mean, maybe something's terribly wrong, but it's live-withable, so I'm not too worried about it.
Right. You're not that old yet.
Yeah, I don't think. Or I am, and I'm ignoring it. But I got home, and I was like, babe, my knee, like, I did something to it today, so I got to be careful. Like, I just got to be cautious. It's my left knee. It feels like it could get worse. Like, it was kind of weak, so I didn't want to overdo anything, right?
Right. Smart. Taking care of yourself.
Right, exactly. Did I knock out the cable?
I think we're looking good.
We're looking great.
Okay.
So I'm taking all the precautions. So I had band practice last night. I play drums. I usually use a double kick pedal. And I was like, you know what? Single kick tonight. I'm going to give the old knee a rest.
So does that mean you had to double work your other foot to hit the same rhythm that two would do?
No, it just made all my parts way more boring than usual. There's just like a half to a quarter of what's normally there regarding the kick drum. And actually, my guitarist, my friend Matt, he was like, so you're gonna do double kick there, right? I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah. This one part sounded very lame. I wish I could show you.
Is it just like less hype? Like what makes it just like
less energy?
Yeah.
Like something that's supposed to be like driving and go like turns into like do ga. It just turns into like
too simple.
One of those keyboard presets that you press something, and it's like boop, doop, doop, boop, doop.
And then you try to play over it.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was, I'm like, it's just a practice. We were writing. It was fine. I got away with it. So I get out of band practice. I have a text from my wife that's like, I just dislocated my left knee at my dance rehearsal. I'm like, why do we get the same injuries? Because this happened before. There was a day like months ago where I, for reasons unknown to me, got super nauseous, threw up.
Oh, lovely.
Sorry, trigger warning. And I felt fine. Later that night, I forget where I was. I was out somewhere, and Rach texted me, and she was like, I don't know what it was, but I just got so nauseous, I threw up, and now I feel fine.
What the heck?
So it was like, that maybe that could have been like something that was contagious, but it wasn't even like a 24-hour bug. It was like a 24-minute bug.
You're just like,
where I got sick.
Did you both eat the same thing?
No, that was the thing that was weird. And she actually thought hers was from smoking the cigar. Like it was too much. Like some of them are like super intense. And so she thought hers was from that. I don't know what mine was. But then I was like, both of our left knees. So I spent last night at the emergency room with her, making sure she didn't like tear anything or whatever. Yeah. But we were just laughing.
What are the chances that both of you would injure?
Know.
It's love. It's fate.
a tale of love drenched in pain. So now she's recovering from a dislocated knee. And it seems like she's going to be all right, but she's got to be off it for a little while. Yeah. And I can walk up and down stairs.
When you were going downstairs, I thought you were tumbling.
I was going a little slow.
You were going a little slow. I'm proud of you
for taking
care of yourself.
Yeah. She was like, what are you doing with your knee at work? And I was like, just tricks. I just do tricks all day.
Parkour.
That's like a weird horror movie.
Yeah. Where it's like parkour, but they like snap people's necks.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Punisher. Did you ever watch Punisher Warzone?
No, it's the only one I haven't seen.
Oh my gosh,
of the Punisher thing.
It's such a trip. Wait, you've seen the Dolph Lundgren one?
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
That one's, it exists. I'll wait till you watch it, then we can talk about it.
Okay, that one's...
that one exists. Well, I was curious how like early Marvel was. Like
I was.
Early Marvel, but...
Me too, and I had planned on watching it, but then Marvel just started putting out a movie every week, so I was
like, well, might as well.
No time
watch
for
these,
40-year-old ones, I guess. Warzone has this hilarious scene where there's like a group of parkour villains jumping from roof to roof, and then one of them gets blown up with a rocket launcher.
Well, he's parkouring?
He's doing like some kind of tumble in the air between roofs. And you just see it go... and it's great.
So good.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Anyways, what else? I don't know.
I got nothing this week. I swear this is not going to be another 50-minute conversation where we talk about the history and where we are.
This will be a more conventional episode of the podcast.
I wonder if that episode was fun. I don't know. Did we get any feedback from it? I don't know if I saw anything.
I did post a question on Spotify, and I forget if anyone responded or not.
Well, we'll have to check.
I sincerely have no idea.
Yeah.
But we did post some. We posted some questions, some polls last week that were very fun. Thank you guys all for responding. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Yeah. And I also wanted to say thank you to everyone who checked out the song that I put out last week. I got a lot of responses, and it was rad. Some people picked up the merch, and a lot of the response was from people who listen to the podcast. So that rules, and you guys rule, and thank you, and okay, love you.
Good night.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Should we go into reflections?
Yes.
Whee!
Please moment to reflect.
Hi. We are in Reflections.
We are. In Reflections.
We are. And
The
usually,
youth of Reflections.
Brett takes us here because he wants to fix the unfixable.
You know, I don't know if we can say usually anymore. It's
It's
been really dedicated to you guys lately.
Yeah, that's because we're reflecting on how great you guys are.
But this is how things evolve.
Yeah.
This segment did start as me correcting things I'd said previously.
Yeah.
Or things Tim said and didn't want to admit he was wrong
Brett
about.
fixes me because I think I'm unfixable. No.
Huh?
I'm perfect.
Right.
So there's no fixing. what
Tim's
is
flawless. Sometimes
flawless.
I say James Cameron directed My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And then I got to go back and be like, oh, it wasn't James Cameron.
It was James
Wan.
Damn, I'd see that.
Totally watch that.
Well, instead of James Wan this week, maybe we'll get him on next week.
Yeah.
Instead, we asked you guys a bazillion questions.
We did.
And so I'm going to start with a fun one first. And then because, Brett, you want to talk about some of the things people said.
I honestly didn't know. I thought we were talking about different. We were talking about different responses.
Gotcha.
So we can talk about the ones you want to talk about
Yeah.
and the one that I want to talk about.
Right, the one you
which
want-
is the one we were just talking about before we started recording.
Gotcha.
So forget about the initial one.
Okay.
Tim, we got
Anyways,
it, dude.
I have been editing a new video we're working on.
Jeez.
And in this video, Brett orders $24 worth of something at Taco Bell.
Yes.
And so I asked you guys, what in the world is Brett ordering for $24? And I said wrong answers only.
Okay, I'm excited because I didn't see any of the responses, actually.
So we got a single taco because inflation
Imagine a single taco.
for $24. I can't think of any scenario where I would pay $24 for a single taco.
No, dude.
Unless it's like full of something or it's huge. It has to be
Yeah,
gigantic.
it's got to be like something novelty. Like, especially if you're going to Taco Bell, any one item. Like, okay, I stopped at this gas station the other day, and it's one of those gas stations that has a particular restaurant in it. I think it's called like a Red Tavern or something like that. And they have really good, like, they have pretty good food. Like, some of it's prepackaged, but they also have like a deli there that will, they have like pizza and stuff, but it's still technically gas station food.
Right.
Like, you're stopping at a gas station to get food. They had $30 lobster rolls.
So lobster rolls are a sham.
Right?
It's the most touristy tourist lie.
is.
It's on a hot dog roll.
I know,
It's
but that's
lobster on a-
part of the thing. That's
What
what
is
makes
it?
it an
What's
authentic
the thing?
Dude, I don't even know. It's just like, and
I will never spend money on a lobster roll.
I to this day I don't think I have.
I'd rather get lobster and a hot dog.
Yeah,
Or just eat the
100%.
roll and grill it.
Do they make lobster dogs where it's a hot dog but they put lobster on it?
Ooh, that's more like, that's going to be like an artisan fancy pants
Yeah,
place.
totally.
I'd try that.
Yeah, I'd get a lobster dog.
Right, you put a hot dog in there, I'm in. $30, I'm in. Throw a hot dog.
Hold the lobster.
I'll take one of your lobster dogs. Hold the
lobster.
Still pay $30.
Yes,
though.
100%.
Yeah, but crazy.
So I feel similarly like at Taco Bell, where I'm like, is there anything, I was like, I don't think there's any time I spend $30 on one item of gas station food.
No.
I can't imagine spending $24 on one item at Taco Bell. This is an impossible sentence for me to say.
It's talking's hard. It's
I don't
because the
know what
AC's off and
Yeah.
we're just dying.
My brain's melting.
This is this racist? I'll have you read it. I don't know. It's a joke, right? It's like referring to something.
Yeah. I'm confused about the initial descriptors.
I don't think it's racist. I just don't get it. And I'm scared if I say it, it's going to be
It's
racist.
not. I don't believe this is racist.
And I don't think the person meant for it.
I think the only way to be educated, and typically in a really kind way,
just spit
is
everywhere.
to openly say things on the internet.
Okay.
So I think we're safe to just say it.
Go ahead, you say it. I'm not.
Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. I just don't get why.
That might be a tongue twister. I think
Well,
it's
it is.
simple, right?
But isn't it typically just rubber baby buggy bumpers?
Why they gotta be big black?
Yeah, I don't
rubber
know why
baby
they were-
buggy bumpers.
They seem
it's
odd.
more bees, I guess. Big black rubber baby.
Wait, can you even say it?
Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers.
That you nailed that.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. When I'm looking at it, say it without looking at it.
Big black rubber baby. What is it? Buggy bumpers. Big black rubber baby.
Bro, what's a buggy bumper? I don't know what that is.
Big black rubber baby bumper. No, what am I? Buggy.
Bumper Dougies?
Bumper Dougie.
Dougie dumpers?
I quit.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
So it wasn't
not
that.
Racist.
No, that's a great one.
It's
not racist.
Not racist. We also have like 3 tacos,
Yeah.
which is more reasonable.
It is. I mean, I was surprised. To be fair, I was kind of surprised at the price of some of the stuff I got.
Yes, but it was in fact more than 3 tacos.
It's true.
And this one didn't fully save because when it comes to Instagram, they're like all weird about that stuff. This says in Edmonton that would be 160 of their paper takeout bags, and then there's dots. So there may be a little bit more, but it might just be that.
Interesting.
I don't know what Edmonton is,
Canada?
and yeah, Edmonton they take 160 of their takeout bags.
Do you have to pay for bags? Maybe you have to pay for bags there.
Oh, that would suck.
Because you have to pay for bags in some places.
So 160 paper takeout bags.
Who's buying those?
Not
Just
me.
to have?
Just to own. Well, because then you can bring it to places and not buy it. It's like, oh, I
But
know I'm going
it's
to take
Taco
it.
Bell.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
People come over and you're like, you want a bag to take home? And you're just putting leftovers in a Taco Bell bag?
It's like, thank you. And the last one was a Tim sandwich.
I did ask, they didn't have them.
No, Tim sandwich. I would say if you're getting a Tim sandwich, it would be at least $30.
What's on it? Let's say we have a restaurant,
And you order the Tim sandwich.
which is a dream of mine. We have a restaurant one
yeah,
day.
we'll call it the fry up.
The Keep Up Cafe, bro.
Oh yeah, right. We already discussed this. I'm drunk. So yeah, the Tim sandwich would consist of bacon,
Yep, for sure.
chicken cutlet,
Yeah, I'm already in, by the way.
pepper jack cheese,
Ooh, Papa Jack.
turkey, some fried pepperoni.
Fried pepperoni.
Like cooked pepperoni.
So it's crunch.
So it's crunch.
Okay.
Right? Doritos.
Yeah.
And then all on a big Italian bread, like baguette, long piece.
Any sauces or anything?
Hot sauce. I would say,
I feel like you got to moisten it up a little.
okay, mayo on the top,
Yeah,
and then hot sauce on the bottom.
that's what I was looking for. What about just like a chipotle mayo or something like that?
Oh, that's
like
smart.
a spicy
yeah,
mayo.
you do a spicy mayo. Is there a buffalo mayo?
Gotta be.
There has to be at this point.
But if not, you could do buffalo. The chicken cutlet could be buffalo, and then you put mayo on the.
And a lot of people would probably say like ranch, right? Because I have the ranch outfit and stuff.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Ranch is like a pretty strong flavor.
it is. It might
might
out
be-
flavor everything
yeah.
else. It just got bad.
No.
Fix it.
We're in the weak house.
Or you could get the Tim, which is just like mayo, no buffalo.
Yeah.
Or you can get the spicy Tim, and it's buffalo.
Buffalo.
Dude, this is driving me
Out
crazy.
of Spice Timo. Is there something we did different this week?
No,
No.
it's this. It's the cable, or it's the way the mic is sitting in the cable. Oh, I made it so bad. Oh, that's what it was. Fixed it.
What was it? It was unplugged in all the way?
This was twisted. Like the cable itself was loose. That can I wonder if that was wrong. What was wrong with the other? No, we tried different cables.
Right.
Anyways, Tim sandwich was not what I got at Taco Bell.
No. And you guys will know that answer soon. But not yet. You got to wait till the video comes out.
Comes out soon.
Yes. Keep your eyes open.
I think. I don't know when.
And yeah, soon, potentially this week. It's almost done, so we just got to pick a day.
You got to pick a day.
I'll pick a day.
I mean, I'll
Also,
help if you want.
There was another question that was posed to the people. Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it, or
Yeah, I'll do it. So basically, on I don't know why I started with basically. So here's what happened. If you're patrons, you'll know that we did an episode of Cricket City, which is our Patreon exclusive podcast. It comes out monthly. And we found our way onto a list of Cheez-It ranking. And so I got curious, what you guys thought was the best Cheez-It. Because I feel like it's one of three. It's normally the OG,
Right.
the white cheddar,
Yep.
or the Toasty.
Toasty has become like, I think, an underdog.
I think so too.
It's one of those that I don't think a lot of people would like, but seems to be pretty well liked.
So popular. So I put up what have you gotten me into here? Oh, I see what's going on.
Okay.
So I asked the question, which is the superior Cheez-It?
Right.
We had those three options as well as, I believe, none of these, and am wrong.
I traditionally, when I make polls like that, I avoid joke answers because everyone picks them.
Everybody chooses them?
Everyone picks them. And you never get the answer you're looking for.
That was not the case this time.
Thank you.
People were very serious about letting me know what their favorite
The
Cheez-It
true
was.
Cheez-It flavor.
So what wins for you out of original, white cheddar, and Toasty?
I would say I'm very partial to Toasty, but white cheddar is the one that gives me like a little bit of a nostalgic rush.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to like the beach and we would get those little green bags with the
green bags.
Yeah, the green bags.
I don't think they're green anymore.
No, it's very rare if you see the green bags nowadays because they're even the box isn't green. I
Forgot they used to be green.
Yeah, so you get the little bags, and so I just remember like my fingers being cheesy and the white cheddar. It was like extravagant. You would only get it if you were like somewhere, like like combos. You would get those when you're like on a road
trip.
Yeah,
Combos are the road trip food.
so yeah, that was the white cheddar Cheez-Its. So those in my head, like even if I have the opportunity to buy them and like bring them home or like order a box or something, I much prefer to get them while I'm out road trips or at a hotel or something like that. So all that to say, white cheddar I think is my favorite.
That would also be my win. I like the originals. I do like the Toasties, but original also has a certain nostalgia to them. But the white cheddar I think is superior. Now, what you guys said. Original, 29% voted original.
Okay.
Okay. White cheddar, 29%.
Damn. So we got a tie.
Voted white cheddar. And I got to say, they were neck and neck pretty much the entire time. The winner with 36%, Toasty.
Toasty.
The superior Cheez-It, Toasty.
Okay.
I can't think of any other food that everyone prefers a bag of slightly burnt.
Yeah.
Except for you. You like everything slightly.
I love me the burnt.
Which is why I'm surprised Toasty is
not my
your
favorite.
pick. Tim likes everything overcooked.
That's true. I like Toasty better than original, but I there's something about the white cheddar that's just takes you to Flavor Town.
Ooh,
What about the
baby,
last
I
one?
love your way.
Did only one person vote
7%.
for that? 7%.
Yep. Said none of these. So something
I
other
wonder
than...
what flavor they think is better.
I'm also curious. I could see an argument for one of the peripheral categories of Cheez-Its, such as...
Grooves?
Grooves.
The
Grooves are very good.
They're another level.
Arguably more of a chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I'm ranking Cheez-Its, the grooves don't come into play.
They gotta.
I know they have to, but they're so like.
But in your
different.
mind, you're
Right.
like, yeah, it's a different thing.
Yeah, if somebody
It's a
asked me
different
what's
thing.
my favorite Cheez-Its, the grooves, they're their own thing.
Yeah.
But if we do decide to rank them at some point,
yeah, which we should.
we should, I guess, include the grooves.
I could also see Cheddar Jack coming in on top. I do love the Cheddar Jack ones. So I don't know.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think that's it for reflections.
That's all I had.
Where are we going now?
I gotta go to TV of all things.
Of all things.
TV Puppet Pals.
All right.
Television.
Here we are.
Hello.
Hi.
Again, welcome.
Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast.
Well, we're going to be.
Hey, welcome to All Right, Tim, back to you.
So, television is a thing that I very sporadically watch. I watch my TV a lot.
I like that every time you go on a TV, you explain your relationship with television.
Because it's something that I want to be better with.
Yeah.
And so, what better way to be better with television than watching an old sci-fi show from the 1990s called Stargate SG-1?
Oh, nice.
So I've never seen the first Stargate movie. I watched that, and not too much to say. Like I won't even bring it up in movies. It's good. It's a solid. Just
I remember liking it.
Yeah, just
It
like
was
a
a long time
sci-fi
ago.
romp. And it's weird because it does combine both. Like sci-fi and government conspiracies with like Egyptian history.
Oh yeah,
and there's kind of like this whole cool lore set up for what would eventually become the Stargate series.
We love a cool lore.
Yes, we do enjoy a cool lore. And so this, I have the whole DVD set series from our uncle. He kept them for a million years.
That's right.
And so he was getting rid of them, and I was like, I'll take them.
Tim will take 'em.
I've always wanted to see them. And so I started it. And the first episode is an hour-and-a-half pilot. Part of this DVD set. I don't know if this is how they originally did it on TV.
Yeah, he doesn't know, guys, so just give him a minute to figure it out.
Are we waiting the whole minute, or could they pause it?
No, I put it on them.
Oh, okay.
Like, pause it if
okay,
they want.
so I'll just continue then.
Yeah, you keep going.
And this is a direct sequel to the movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
honestly, I'd recommend watching it only because if you like the Stargate movie, it is pretty cool to see the continuation in technically a second movie.
I would argue that's very cool.
It's very cool, but some people don't want to watch the whole series because the whole series is also a continuation, but then you get more of like the Monster of the Week type of stuff with the
like
episodes.
that personally.
But what I do want to point out with this pilot here is they must have tried to put it on like HBO or Cinemax or something.
Really?
Because there's nudity.
What?
There's
Like butts
blood,
and stuff?
There's chesticles.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what they're called?
I'd have to look it up. But
Okay.
I don't want to do it now.
Right. But there's chesticles.
Yeah. Don't say it again.
Oh, okay. I'll stop at 2. Well, you should say it 3 times.
Well,
Rule
then I
of
have to
3.
put an explicit tag.
No, chesticles are fine.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's like Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times.
And they just appear.
Next time.
No!
No! But yeah, this and the original movie was PG-13. So this is more adult than what the movie was.
What?
'Cause there was no nudity in that.
No.
And the violence, I would say, is like tame, where this one, again, was like blood. You would see blood like pouring from people's faces. And
That's really interesting that they did that, because you would think they'd kind of maintain like the same rating and audience from the movie, because I remember the movie doing really well.
Yeah.
It's SG-1, right?
Yep, SG-1 is the series.
I'm curious where it premiered, because especially when that came out, you're right, it would have been a very limited option.
Yeah, because they couldn't like do it on sci-fi because that was at the time at least like TV 14. Now the channels have been kind of all over the place where you can catch TVMA stuff like later at night. I still don't know if sci-fi does it, but like Adult Swim used to be TV 14 only, but now they have TVMA stuff.
Interesting.
That show up late, and there's
Showtime.
Oh, that's what they tried to get it on.
Well, it says it premiered on Showtime 1997.
I wonder how long it was on Showtime, because I know it was on Sci-Fi.
5 years.
It was on Showtime for 5 years?
97, and moved to the Sci-Fi Channel June of 2002.
Interesting.
And then
stayed there until
the final episode aired on Sky One. What is that?
I wonder if the ratings really dropped off.
Dude,
Sky
what
One?
is Sky One? I've never heard of
that. Is that a channel or a website?
I don't know. So shall we dig deeper?
Yeah, dig deeper while I explain.
Yeah, keep going.
Because the series, after that pilot, then goes into your typical TV 14 fare.
It does. After that pilot.
After that pilot, yep.
So it's like they needed Showtime just to premiere that.
Yeah, and if you look at the back of the DVD set, the movie is unrated. Or, I'm sorry, it's rated R, and the rest of the series is rated TV 14.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what they were trying to go for, but it was really jarring because, again, the movie was PG-13, so there was no violence or no like blood, not as much blood, no nudity. And then I see the show and I'm like, am I watching the right thing here? And then I go back to the normal show and I'm like, oh, this is more what I expected.
Did it feel like the whole tone changed, or just like
the tone for the pilot for sure?
Really?
Yeah. Because of the things they were doing and like how some characters were treated and stuff were more so more intense and darker than it was in the movie. So, but yeah, so then I started watching the show, and this is a series I've always wanted to tackle because I heard it's like one of the best sci-fi shows ever.
Yeah.
It had 2 different spin-offs, not sci-fi, Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe.
Oh, that one I've never even heard of.
No, that one came out. It was. I think it only had 2 seasons, and it didn't do too well, I guess. But so yeah, it's something I've always wanted to tackle. And man, do I miss the format and how old shows were done.
Really?
From the like swelling of the music when you get like a commercial break,
right
where
to
like
the
something
cut.
dramatic happens. So like, and then it comes back and it's like, ta-da!
Yeah.
And it does the reveal and stuff. From just the way the music was the most striking thing to me. It felt very orchestral, and it just sounds so different than most modern shows sound.
Probably more of a soundtrack in general.
Yeah.
But that's that. And what's funny about that too is it's probably something we paid no attention to back then.
No, not at all. And it's something that like you just took for granted. And watching that stuff back then was just part of the shows.
Yeah.
But it's so funny how differently formatted shows are. Because these were meant to fill up an hour, you know, and so they're always around like 44 minutes.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell there is some filler.
Yes.
You know, they nowadays shows can really be anything. I've seen shows be like 32 minutes, 52 minutes, 12 minutes.
They're done when they're done.
Right. They're just, and which I think is probably for the best. So you don't get a lot of filler. So you definitely see it. But if it was on Showtime didn't have commercials, right?
No, I don't think so. Because that was one of the.
I wonder why it was formatted.
One of the paid movie channels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe because you said for 5 years, so I'll have to do more research if there's more to it.
That's what it's
like I said, I always assumed it was just sci-fi. That's how I knew it.
But it was a show. Like I feel like all shows on Showtime. Maybe they did have commercials for TV shows.
Maybe on the paid channels.
I don't remember. I feel like we never had them.
I know we had HBO.
We did eventually.
Yeah.
Once you guys came around, all of a sudden we have all the good channels.
All the good stuff. Computer, internet access. We got it all.
I grew up watching Fuzzy Die Hard.
Dude, that sounds like a great way to watch that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Also, Sky One was a British pay television channel operated and owned by Sky Group, a division of Comcast.
Okay.
Originally launched in 1982.
Wow. That's a
This logo does look vaguely familiar, but I've absolutely 100% without a doubt never seen anything on that channel.
No, never, ever.
What that is. But so overall, like, are you enjoying the show? Are you going to keep watching it?
Yeah. It's kind of been all over the place as far as like themes. Like the first episode, they went back to like Egypt, and well, I guess the pilot they went back to Egypt, but it's not Egypt. It's like a different universe. That's the whole premise. Is like all these universes they go to are just kind of offshoots of history, of different parts of human history.
Sure.
So they're not traveling through time. Those people were removed from our timeline at some point and put into a new universe, and that's what they're going and exploring.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not as simple as time travel or just going to different universes because they're interconnected. So what happens is some episodes you get aliens, some episodes you get humans, or not necessarily aliens, but more so like humans that were modified to be more alien-like.
Sure.
And then other episodes you just go straight back in time, but they're not going back in time. It's just where that group of people are like, I guess.
I see, yeah.
So like the second episode, it's like Mongolia, and they have a bunch of Mongolians, but they were just displaced from timeline, I guess. All that to say, premise is a little intense to get your head around, but when you get around it, then you're like, this is just fun.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the formula of the new, monster of the week, if you will, where they're dealing with a new situation. But I am curious to see if I'll get bored because there's 11 seasons.
It's a lot.
22 episodes per season. This is just in the time when shows were, they would have a year, they would have a lot of episodes and all that stuff. Because again, nowadays you get 10 episodes, you get 12 episodes.
Right. It's all out at once.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even know if you're going to get a second season.
No, you don't get nothing. But what I say so far, it's definitely a keeper.
Cool.
It is a great time capsule of 1998 is what the first season, I guess, starts. You said maybe the
it said it premiered 97
so
the
that might have
pilot,
been the pilot, yeah. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's cool. It's fun to revisit. There are some things that may not pass today.
Oh yeah.
With how certain characters are treated, but we'll see if that gets talked about in the show later.
Yeah, maybe it's a plot point.
Yeah, something like that. But
that's one I've always wanted to check out, as well as Battlestar Galactica.
That's a huge one too.
I've never watched that. And there's a third one that I was told by a very trusted source in regards to his taste. Oh, it's lesser talked about, but equally as known, I feel like.
Star Trek Enterprise.
No, I want to say it starts with an S because they all start with an S.
They do. Let's see. There was Stargate. There was...
No. Farscape.
Oh, Farscape. Haven't seen that one.
I've never seen. I've heard it's incredible.
Yep, that's also in the pantheon of sci-fi shows.
Yeah. Are you, so in regards to the nostalgia, are you also enjoying watching DVDs?
Yes, there is a significant quality difference.
I bet, yeah.
More so than when I watch like Bedazzled or anything else.
Oh, wow.
And maybe because these discs are really old or...
TV to DVD versus movies, maybe.
Right, yeah, maybe the quality is just like different. But yeah, no, I have no complaints. Like I'm not a stickler. Like I like when things look nice.
Of course.
But this is totally a great way to watch it. And these might even be watchable on a streaming service. But there's something about popping in the DVDs.
Yeah, it's a different
And it
thing.
feels good to finish a disc. Like once I watch all the episodes on a disc, I'm like, to the next one.
Done, yeah.
So it checks off some things in my head.
That's fun. It's like turning a page in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how long I stick with it.
I'm curious.
But I'm liking it so far.
All right,
Watch
good.
an episode a night, so
Add it to the list, kids.
Mm-hmm. I got something else in TV.
Oh, what do you got?
Were we doing like a freeze frame? Like, that's the end.
No, I didn't know.
Da-da-da.
I was waiting for the next thing to happen.
X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Have you finished it?
No.
Have you watched more than one episode?
Yes.
Did you watch up to episode 3?
Yes.
This show's freaking nutso bongo. I'm late to the party. Everyone's been watching. Everyone's finished it.
Yeah.
But there was a significant announcement of a game that I'll talk about in video games when we get there that inspired me to go and watch X-Men 97 again. Dude, first of all, this show moves a mile a minute.
Oh, it's so fast.
There's so many plot points. It's like bing, 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 bing. Every episode, there's like 2 characters dying, 2 characters leaving, a character coming back to life, and then one of the characters that died was actually their grandmother's uncle. That was Charles Xavier's left shoe. Like, it's crazy what they do. And like, part of me wants to now go and read all of the important X-Men history, like the main points, because they're probably plot points that are probably, or not probably, I said probably a lot. There are plot points that are probably way more enjoyable if I understand the comics they're referring to.
100%. I bet there's like,
the show as well.
A basket of Easter eggs in each episode
all over the
that
place.
I just don't. Because X-Men for me is a thing I've grown up with. I've always loved and I've always felt like a fan. But then I meet someone who's a fan of X-Men the way I am of like Turtles.
Yeah.
And knows all of like the comic book history. And it's so deep.
So deep.
And there's so many different like, not even just iterations, but side stories and like spin-offs and things that are they're canonical, and it's like actually a really big thing that like deep-seated X-Men fans know and can reference to one another. So this show just feels like it's doing that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like even not knowing, I'm like, I feel like that's a thing.
Right. It's like
I should know about, you know, like,
or if it was a story that, has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Specifically, Jean Grey has episode 3.
Yes.
And all that happens.
Insane.
That's got to be from some comic.
It has to be, because it feels so like...
Feels comic booky for sure.
It does. It feels like sort of like a Monster of the Week type thing.
Yep.
Where it's like, it's not a monster per se, but one of those like, oh, I guess we're doing that this week.
Yeah, it's like okay.
What? Yeah.
This feels like it would be a season-long problem.
Right.
That they do in one episode.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And you're right, too, that the way they're dealing with it almost feels like, did I miss an episode?
Yeah.
Like, is there...
It's fast.
Yeah, it is. And it's very cool, but it's fast.
That being said, I loved it. And it makes me, I want to watch the original series more so than what I've seen. Read the comics. Like, they're doing such a good job. So,
great.
I've only finished up episode 3, but I'll be done by next week.
Yeah, we're at the same spot, and that's one that I think I will finish probably next out of anything that I've started, because I've started a few shows in the past few weeks, and that's the one that's just like, it's just everything about it is so good. And I know we talked about it. That's barely any information, but I'm just agreeing with you. It just is as great as everyone's saying. There's a reason you're not hearing anything negative about it. And I will say too, like the older shows, at least, it's watchable.
Yeah. Yep.
And this one is like, it did just enough to make it like, all right, this is a more mature.
Yeah.
We're moving forward. We're moving fast. I definitely want more. Like, did they say if we're getting more than what we got already? Because it's not like an ongoing or anything, is it?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Is it done coming out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's finished. 10 episodes.
10 episodes.
But they might do another season. One hopes.
Still one of the greatest theme songs of all time.
So good. I still haven't skipped it yet.
Yeah.
When I started.
I know,
that
you
episode.
can't-
You just enjoy it.
When am I supposed to not get to the dun 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 dun?
Yeah. What?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Was I supposed to continue?
No, that was the question.
Yeah. Yes.
What am I not supposed to get to that
what
part?
am I not? Yeah. You're not. You are supposed to get to
What am I not supposed to get to the dun 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 dun?
Sonic music. I'm all set at TV.
All right, movies?
Movies.
I want to hear about movies.
I got a lot of things
Can
to
we
talk
please
about.
go into movies?
Let's go into movies.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
You saw 2 movies that make me want to see movies.
Hey, I'll take over the podcast this week. No problem.
You saw 2 movies I want to see.
Yeah.
One of them is Abigail.
Yes.
It's about a little vampire girl.
Yes.
It looked great. It looked like just enough. It looked humorous in concept, like it doesn't need to be funny.
Yeah.
But it is, it's a horror movie based on a concept that is humorous in itself.
Yes.
How is it?
It is a better Renfield. It is what Renfield should have been as far as just like good violence to humor ratio, good actors and actresses riding the movie along, if you will. Is that the right terms? I don't know. I don't speak.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
And I also saw this months ago, so I apologize if I forget anything or whatever. But but it was totally a great watch all the way through. Everybody again was funny. The story's interesting. There's a couple twists and turns, which is nice.
Little couple 2, 3
Yeah, a
turns.
little bit. Abigail was creepy. She did a lot of freaky things. As far as vampire lore goes,
Yeah.
I like some of the avenues they take.
That's cool.
Because vampire lore, there's a lot of things that
Lot
may
of it.
kill vampires, a lot of things vampires can do. So that's the fun of vampire movies nowadays is you don't even know what type of vampire
It
you're
is.
dealing with.
That is
Yeah.
the fun of it, for sure.
So this definitely touches upon a couple different types of vampires, or at least their weaknesses and abilities. So that's really fun to see what Abigail can do throughout the movie. Honestly, no complaints. Definitely a keeper. It was worth seeing in the theaters. I assume it's out somewhere now because again, it was months ago. I think. That I
Is
saw
it more fun than scary?
more? Yes, yeah. It's definitely
Okay.
way more of a like fun gore fest.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of blood.
Which Renfield was as well.
Yes, but again, I think Abigail just did it better.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
But yeah, there are some like scary moments, but they're pretty tame overall. Nothing. There's like 2 good jump scares.
So listen, if that sounds good to you, watch it.
Keeper for sure.
Keeper, Tim says.
Tim says. And then I watched another movie,
What is it?
Furiosa.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call it? Mad Max Saga.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon Saga.
Yeah.
Furioski.
Yeah, a Mad Max Saga story.
Yeah.
A story of Max's
Furiosa.
Senua's sadness.
Yeah. Have you seen Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah.
How?
Don't say furry road to me. Have you seen Mad Max Fury Road?
How do you say Mad Max Fury Road?
Yes.
How freaking good is that movie?
That's amazing.
So imagine that, but it's a prequel, and it's not as action packed.
Oh.
Furiosa is a fantastic appetizer to Fury Road. It is very good,
Okay.
but they definitely focus more on the story
Whack.
than they do the action. Now, when
that's cool.
when there is action, you're at the same level as Fury Road.
Let's go,
There's
dude.
one scene in particular that goes on for like 20 minutes, and it's off the walls crazy.
I love that.
Yeah. This definitely just feels like a what do you call it? Like a supplemental material to the Fury Road story.
That's what I call it, is supplemental material to the...
That's why I said it,
Right.
because that's what it is.
Yeah, because you said, what do you call it?
What do you call it? Yeah, well, I couldn't think of it at first, and then I said
Right.
it, so I answered myself.
And then I realized that is what I call it.
Right, that's what you would call it, and myself.
Right. A supplemental
Story
story to
to Furry Road.
Fury Road.
This, I think, when it comes out, I recommend people will watch that and then Fury Road in one super movie.
Okay.
Because it really does feel like, and I'll tell you, it connects right to Fury Road. You are. It feels like one movie that they just split in half.
That's cool. Do you feel like it would have been more effective if it came out first, or that it's cool they did it this way?
It's cool they did it this way, but it should have come out quicker.
Quicker.
I think if it came out a couple years after Fury Road, or even like the following year, I think it would have been a much
How
more.
long ago?
I want to say like 2015. Wow. Was Fury Road? So
That sounds right to me.
almost 10 years later.
Yeah.
So not to say
wacky.
that the hype has run out or anything like that,
But it's not what it was.
it's not as powerful,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
It's still fantastic. It's
Yeah.
still a great watch.
Okay.
And what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy.
yeah.
She killed it. Chris Hemsworth killed it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a great movie. Not to the height that Fury Road was.
Sure.
But right under it. I would say if like Fury Road's a 9, Furiosa's an 8.
Can you think of a prequel that was better than its predecessor?
It also was 2015.
Wow, good call. First of all, I don't know how you do that.
I don't know either.
Because I was going to say, I think that's the best you can expect from a prequel, and I'm wondering if I'm wrong about that.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Okay, bro, I couldn't even process what you were saying because I was like, no one's ever misunderstood a question more than Tim just did.
Dude, it's better than everything after. What do you mean? It's the best.
The worst answer of all time.
Prequel. Star Wars. I couldn't say. Episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, but you can't say it's better than the original trilogy.
It's better than at least the one with the Ewoks. I hate that movie.
You hate that movie?
I hate the Ewoks, and it ruins the whole movie. I love the end.
Yeah,
Return
I'm not an
of the
Ewoks
Jedi,
fan
classic.
either.
But
like one of my favorite prequels ever is Rise of the Lycans, but I can't say it's better than Underworld or Evolution. Oh, it's so good.
I know.
It's very
I
good.
have it over there in my pile of.
You'll never find it.
No, that's the problem. Every time I go to look for it, I'm like, well,
wait. If I find it right now while I'm just sitting here, you have to watch it tonight.
That's fine. Where would it be? Somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't find it. I'm not watching it.
If this did have any semblance of order, it would be between Django and Lord of the Rings.
I actually see it right now.
You do? Mm-hmm. I do too. You have to watch it tonight.
Where is it?
Under X-Men.
No, that's right.
Oddly enough, what we were just talking about.
Well, let's talk about Tron since it's under that.
You gotta watch. Yeah, let's just review everything in your list.
In my movies.
So I remember when I saw Tarzan.
Yo, that was a classic.
Tarzan, Tangled. If we reviewed that, all right, I'm gonna list all the movies I'm looking at, and you got to pick your favorite out of them.
I'm listening.
Is that the trilogy X-Men, or is it?
That's everything except for Logan.
Okay, so every X-Men movie except for Logan, and you can't say Origins. Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, Underworld, Tron, Treasure Planet, Thor, Tarzan, Tangled, Taken, Rogue One, Star Wars The Last Jedi, a movie I can't read, Star Wars the original entire, no, that's maybe the prequel, Scream 2, Bedazzled,
it's Scream
Hellboy.
3.
That is Scream 3, Hellboy.
Am I supposed to pick my favorite movie out of all these?
House of the Dead, a blue one, and Silence of the Lambs. I don't know what that is.
What a list. I'm going to have to give it to X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
This podcast is over
have to
forever.
give it to that one.
I can't think of a prequel that was better.
I don't know.
So I feel like that's the best you can hope for, is for it to be almost as good as the original.
Yeah.
And do you want it to be better?
No, but you want it to be at least equal, I think.
Yeah.
Because the hype that's set up from Fury Road, I think you're just like wanting more of that. And again, there are moments when it absolutely slaps you in the face with insane action. What it really made me do is want to go just watch Fury Road immediately after.
Yeah.
Which I didn't, but I'm going to.
You sure?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I totally believe you 100%. I believe you're
After Underworld.
That's like 2 years ago when I said I was going to watch every Stephen King movie.
And how'd that go?
I didn't watch a single one.
I also said I'd do the Dark Age of Disney too, and I haven't started that yet.
No, you haven't.
Someday.
We're crushing it.
Like, we're doing it. We make promises
Yeah.
to break promises.
What could be more in character for a podcast about all the things we've never seen?
Right. Than to say
Than
we're
to
going to watch
not
things.
see stuff.
And not watch it. We're keeping up.
We're trying.
But yeah, Furiosa, totally a keeper.
Love that.
It's great in theaters. I think that probably is the superior way to watch it. Usually is, but in this case, there's just some like crazy sound effects and it feels like a very cinema movie.
Cinema movie.
Yes, and it's still in theaters now, so. A new paradigm in cinema.
I started a movie this week, but I didn't finish it.
Which is?
Dumb and Dumber 2.
All right, let's go to video games.
Video games.
Best transition ever.
I had to do it. I couldn't miss that
You
opportunity.
couldn't. I hope it was good. Also, you only watched half of it? Dude, that's dumb and dumber.
I had to go to bed.
What are you, 4?
But I will say within the... Yeah, it was my bedtime. Mom called and was like, "Are you in bed?"
It's like, okay.
I will say there's a cat swinging from a ceiling fan within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
That makes it pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Which one, Dumb and Dumber 1 or 2?
No, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Dumb and
with,
Dumberer.
Not to be confused with Dumb and Dumberer. This is Dumb and Dumber 2.
Which is 3 or 2?
I think it's 3. It's where Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels came back.
Oh, okay.
So, but what's crazy is it was like 10 years ago by now that this movie came out.
Why would they call it 2?
Well, because Dumb and Dumberer is a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel?
It is.
Dude, I can't keep up with the lore.
Is that our answer?
Is that the best prequel? That's a good discussion point, though.
And it's called T.O.
Right.
It's very much.
Oh, it's not even T-O-O?
No.
I quit.
It's
I give up.
It's so dumb.
You know what I don't give up on, though?
Tell me what.
Game announcements.
Oh yeah, Tim has 150 game announcements. So listen,
I'm not going to go through them all. I know
He's gonna.
I know how much people hate it.
I actually love this because I don't know what he's about to talk about, and even if I don't get to play the games,
You get to
I
hear
just
they
get
exist.
excited that they're out there. And one day I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this game came out. So, if you're not big into games, just fake it.
Fake it until you make it.
Think about the ones that would be exciting if you played video games.
Yeah.
And pretend we're at Olive Garden eating breadsticks. And Tim's like, did you guys hear it came out? And maybe you're like, gosh, I hope he doesn't talk about video games.
For the next hour and a half.
And I'm like, no, dude, what is it? And you're like, glad these breadsticks are here. Just pretend that's what's going on right now.
That's why I'm only talking about one thing.
One thing. I want all the announcements.
There was like a million announcements, and like
right.
some were cool, and there's a new Doom coming out in medieval times.
I saw that.
It looks freaking balls.
All right, ready? If you're not interested in video games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know a lot of people listening are, so I don't know why I'm like qualifying this one so much. But I mean, bro, if you don't like fighting demons on Mars from medieval times,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell
With a
you, brother.
chainsaw shield.
Yeah, come on, dude. A Shane shield?
A Shane shield. Did you see the skull gun? Why did I say skull?
Skull?
Yeah,
I don't know.
so-
Why isn't it called a scun?
Because no one in their right mind is going to use a scun.
That's fair. I saw a stinky kitty in my driveway the other day.
Was it dead?
No.
Oh,
It's
what?
a skunk.
Oh,
That's what I call
that
them.
makes sense.
Today, my cats were making real weird noises. And they're like noises I never heard before, and that freaked me out because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah. Haven't they done this before, though, where they like
Yes,
do
but
weird stuff?
I walked over and Spade was in the window with his face like up against it, and there was just a cat outside just looking at him. Looked very polite. And
A very nice cat.
yeah, he's just literally looking at Spade, probably being like, "Why are you trapped in that giant building?" And Spade's
Well, I'm
like,
a free.
What the heck? Bro, what language is that?
Cats make the weirdest noise.
Yeah, and then Spade and Tommy Boy had a big fight.
Oh, again.
Scun reminded me of the word skunk, and that's how we got to all those
I
places.
gotcha. Everything
And
connected.
Stinky Kitty, cat.
Right.
So, no, I didn't see the Scun.
Yeah, it's just a gun that he puts a skull in and then chains it out.
Like grinds it?
Yeah, grinds
That's
it and
sick.
shoots out shards.
That
as the
rules.
gun. It's so creative.
Wow.
I love the Doom games.
I do too.
But we're not talking about that.
All right.
We're talking about a collection that should have never existed because of how crazy the rights are to all these things.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Now, this has X-Men, Children of the Atom,
Okay.
Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter,
Wow.
Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then the Punisher arcade game because why not?
That's so weird.
Well, the Punisher arcade game has been very tough to actually play because it hasn't been out since there was a Sega Genesis version.
Yes.
And then there's the arcade version. And it's like one of the rarest Genesis games to my knowledge. I'm pretty
Really?
sure it's very expensive. I'll double check because I'm pretty sure it's rare. And then you were able to play it if you got the Capcom arcade stick, and it was exclusively put in that. But otherwise, you couldn't
What
play
in
it.
the
I know.
world?
It was so insane. So all that to say, there's a Marvel vs. Capcom collection coming out.
That is wild. All platforms?
It is on PS4 and Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
No Xbox.
Wait, PS4?
Yeah, no one knows why. No one has any idea why it's like that. It doesn't make any sense at all.
For anyone who's not privy, we have entire generations of consoles after the PS4 and the
Yes.
Switch.
PC too, I guess.
Yeah.
But people said this would be impossible because the rights to all these characters are all over the place in video game land.
Yeah.
And the music is all over the place. Capcom characters, even certain ones. Strider's a big one because Capcom technically doesn't own Strider.
Really?
Yeah, he
Who
is.
does?
It's some just like random company. Just like they just own the rights to Strider. I think it was a manga or a comic book character or maybe just a book character, and then they took him and made him into like a Capcom character.
Interesting.
So his rights were tough. But yeah, all the Marvel characters, again, their rights video game wise are all over the place.
Yeah.
So they were like, this can never be made again.
That's insane.
And you know how the old collection was removed from Xbox years ago?
Yes,
They had the
I do
Marvel
remember
vs. Capcom collection. So, and that was the reason. So all that to say, it's coming out this year, later this year.
Wow.
And it's freaking awesome.
That's
I'm
so
excited.
cool.
Online multiplayer. And yeah, some of these games go for like hundreds of dollars.
Dude, not hundreds of bucks.
Yeah, hundred of butts. Not even bucks.
Hundreds of buckaroons.
Buckaroonies.
How many monies is it going to be?
The last collection I believe was 50.
50. That's got to be 50.
50 or 60. So they didn't say specifically, but
PS4 is so weird.
wicked weird. Yep. But that's all. That's why I was watching the X-Men show because I'm very excited for this collection.
X-Men?
X-Men.
All right.
I can't say anything anymore.
You can say some stuff.
Everything is criticized.
No, I just think X-Men is funny.
Dude, it's the X-Men show.
Not the X-Men.
the
This
X-Men.
week on the X-Men show.
On the X-Men show.
Previously on X-Men.
But yeah, as far as other announcements, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I don't think it's stuff necessarily you care about.
Great. Too cool for me, guys.
You care about a new Zelda game?
Yeah?
You care about a new Metroid Prime game?
Yes.
Metroid Prime 4?
Are you kidding me thinking I don't care about that?
I don't see you play Nintendo stuff.
I played Prime before you did.
There's 3 other Prime games.
Yeah, I'm just saying the first one I played before you.
How can you be excited for Metroid Prime 4 when you haven't played at the very least 2 or 3?
That's how good the first one was.
And then there's Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS.
Yeah, I don't have a DS. I never had one.
You did have one. You played Final Fantasy on it at work.
That's true. The Pokemon.
I thought you played Final Fantasy 1
You might be right.
or 4 or whatever. I don't know your Nintendo history.
No, dude, I played Metroid Prime on my DS at work.
Oh, yeah, because that's what it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
it looks
whatever.
awesome. I'm very excited
Cool.
for it. New Mario Brothers. It's Mario and Luigi Brothership.
That sounds fun.
It's a RPG.
You think I don't know who Mario is?
I don't know, Brett. You're over there playing friggin' Werewolf Runner or whatever that game was called.
Okay, I played Werewolf Apocalypse like a year and a half ago. Said it was bad.
It's like the last thing I heard you play. That Quantum Break you played.
And now I don't. I played Senua Saga.
I still got to play that. Did you finish it?
No.
So
Whatever. Tim's a professional streamer. All of a sudden, I've never heard of video games.
I'm just saying, once you lost your title of #1 gamer, there was just, you fell from grace. And I'm trying to get you back by
did.
saying like, ooh. So I started with the Marvel vs.
By
Capcom.
saying, ooh, by
well,
keeping me
I'm
in the dark,
easing you
by
in.
telling me there's nothing you'll care or know about, like Zelda, Metroid, or Super Mario, things I've never heard of in my life.
I just know your taste in gaming, and you don't touch those. You hate them.
That is not accurate.
You have never. What's the last Zelda game you played?
I actually have never played a Zelda.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. Which one?
All right. My Zelda history is pretty, not anything.
Yeah. How about Mario? Mario's Galaxy might have been your last one.
You might be right.
Brett, I
But
don't.
I've played Yoshi's Island. I've played
Okay.
1 through 3,
Yeah.
obviously.
Duh.
I've played Galaxy.
Okay.
I've played Paper. I've played Sunshine.
Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Nice.
And I've
You
played
did a little bit of Odyssey, I think.
I've played the parties.
Yeah.
I've played the carts.
Which ones?
The last one I played, I know I played 4. My nose ring just fell out. Was 4 on the Switch or the Wii U?
The 8, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought you were calling like, what would be 4? 4 would be
I played a lot of 1 and Double Dash, and then
Yeah.
I played 8.
8. Okay. That's fine. That's because that's what I did. I did 1, the one on Super Nintendo 64, Double Dash.
Yep.
And then there's like a big jump in between because one's on the Wii, one's
Yeah.
on the DS, one's like a Game Boy one.
I also played Strikers and tennis.
Those are good.
Strikers is great.
Mario Strikers is dope.
Mario sports games are way better than they should be.
They suck now.
64. I played 64.
Yeah.
I've played Mario games.
Okay.
Zelda, I am kind of pathetic. Zelda and Final Fantasies, I've like not touched.
I hope one day you get like a big like renaissance of Zelda games where you're like,
I would like to.
this is it.
I would really like to. Like, I never played Wind Waker. I never played Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
But I know the titles, which I feel like is worth something.
That's worth a couple points. I'll give you that.
I've played a lot of Link in Smash Brothers. I'll tell you that.
Fair.
I've played a lot of Link.
A lot of Link.
And in Soul Calibur. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's something. I mean, hey, I'll give it to you.
I've watched some videos.
Yep.
But Metroid, I've played Super Metroid. I've played Metroid Prime. So.
And that's it. That's all of them.
So, yeah, I'm excited for the fourth one.
Fourth Prime, which is, you got to play Dread.
I do really want to play Dread. Dread looks amazing.
Also, is the red thing still on the camera? I want to make sure. Okay.
It
I
is,
can't
can
see it. I'm blind.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. So, yeah, all these announcements. And I don't know what else I could tell you, bro.
Yeah, X-Men's cool.
X-Men.
Pretty stoked about
It's
that.
Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, I'm excited about all of it. I'm just saying, generally speaking, X-Men is cool. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. How many games have you played? I'm gonna catch up to you one day. Do you know how impossible it would be for me to play as many games as you've played?
Games.
You would need to
Take a guess how many I've beaten this year so far.
What month is it?
It is June,
was-
halfway through.
What was your total last year?
My total last year was... Should I say this number out loud?
Yeah. Bear in mind, anyone who doesn't know, Tim streams for a living. That's literally what he does.
Where's my list? I lost it.
And it's also good to note that when he has free time, he also plays video games.
Right. I am playing games 99% of my time.
He's doing it now. If you're not watching the video, you should know he's playing a video game.
Okay, I found it. Last year...
I don't know that this number is going to help me.
309
Okay.
was last year.
I'm going to say you're at... It's June.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're at 118.
Dang. 89.
All right.
Well, 88. I'm working on 89 right now.
All right. Yeah,
Well,
I haven't beaten a single game this year.
You haven't beaten a single one?
No. Well, actually, hang on. I might be lying.
You must have beaten something.
Oh, I did. I
Yeah.
did.
I really want you to play Alan Wake 2. They announced a physical edition for that.
Oh. Finally.
With, I believe it comes, there's also a special edition and like a deluxe edition, whatever.
Sure would like that.
Yeah, you should look into it. Limited run, though.
That's all right. That I feel like is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I did lie. I beat Ninja Turtles 2.
Nice.
We beat that on stream. The original. I beat Sally Face.
Nice.
Dead Space 3.
Solid.
And The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo.
Well, that's stuff.
4.
It's funny. I actually get credited in helping a lot of people beat games.
Really?
Because usually, I'll recruit people to like do co-op games together.
Yeah.
And I always finish games. So they're playing and they're like, hey, I beat this game.
Yeah.
It's my first game.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm glad to help.
Hey, we beat Turtles together.
We
What are you
did.
talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying...
Tim now thinks I've never heard of the Ninja Turtles. This is crazy. I can't believe
Did you
what
know a
this
new
has turned
Ninja
into.
Turtles comic is coming out?
Yes, I just got the last issue of number 150.
Yeah, dude.
I just got issue number 150, which is the last issue of the IDW ongoing, but it is starting again, like I think next month.
Crazy.
Which
They're
is
not
insane.
even taking like time off or anything?
No, they already have a new writer.
Do you know if it's like a refresh?
I don't. I have
Okay.
no idea where it's going to start, and I have 74 issues to read.
Damn.
And I want to do that.
You want to do that?
But it's
Throw it on the list.
Yeah, because like just so much has happened, and it's like I stopped around the time when I think Jenica was getting all the attention as the new turtle, and that issue skyrocketed in price. I'm
Yep.
curious what it's at now. But yeah. So I really want to read through and see what happened, because even in the 70-something issues I read, some of the craziest stuff went down.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I was looking for this issue, there were so many peripheral series that I didn't even know came out.
IDW's insane for that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's very cool, but it's like
we've talked about it before, but like same with Sonic, they have, I think since this run of the comics, which is up to issue 72 now, I think they've had 7 spin-off series.
oh my gosh,
Which is just, there's villains, there's side characters, there's it's just crazy what they do.
yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not upset because like more is good. I'll take all these different
Yeah.
stories. But yeah, if you're trying to get into it, even nowadays, like when you buy the collected sets, you have the main series and then you have the
Yes.
collected sets of all the spin-offs.
Exactly.
And those are their own books. So it's like, oh my God, I
Yeah,
just want
like
to read.
the last book. Right, like leave me alone for a minute. The last book I was really into, the way that I was Turtles, was Fables, and
Yep.
they had they did the Cinderella spin-offs, which it was 2 runs of that. I want to say that was it. Like they might have had another one. They put out the Fables Encyclopedia, but it was mostly just like the core series. And this, I mean, I remember when, basically, if you're reading anything IDW, you need to pick one property and just like stay with that.
That's what I do, because when I get my comics online, I always get signed up for the spin-off comics too. So instead of buying like one, I'll get like 3. And I'm like, wait, why is this 10? Why is this issue $10?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, this is just other comics part of it. So
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. But I really want to catch up on Turtles because this series was so good. I've been saying it for literally years at this point because it's been that long since I've been able to sit down and read. And I got to finish The Crow too. I'm like halfway through that. But
what do you think about the movie coming out?
I saw one review. Did you see it?
No.
Scathing.
Ooh, the trailer does not help very much.
Wait, is there a full trailer?
Yeah, there's a full. I saw it in the theaters. It's
how's it look?
A little rough.
Yikes.
They're trying to be too edgy with it. Where the other one, I think, felt like naturally edgy. Like it created edgy.
Right.
Without trying to be too hard about
right.
being
It only feels like it has a certain level of cheese because it is the origin of like anything that looks like that now is kind of trying to be that.
Yes.
But that wasn't. It just was what it was.
Yeah.
So, that's like the worst case scenario is that the new Crow movie is not like self-aware enough.
Yeah. It's trying too hard to be cool.
I feel like you're going to get like Twilight territory where it's like, I don't know.
It could be good. I don't know.
I saw you can barely call it a review, as someone tweeting and it said like, because it's not out yet, I can't say I saw the new Crow movie. And I can't say that it's so much worse than the first one that you shouldn't even see it. And I can't say
Well, it sounds like they don't even like the first one.
It did kind of sound like that. But I think what they were saying is that the first one is like you don't need anything else other than the first one, which I understand that's the general consensus, but I'm still very interested to see what they do with it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
I had hope for it because I'm like, if you're going to are you really going to redo something like that? And I don't know. In my mind, there's a line that it's like, if you're going to pick a classic like that to do, a cult classic specifically, maybe.
Yeah. Well, with the story behind it too, it's like it's one that I think should have never been touched.
Yeah, I'm almost leaning that way.
Yeah.
And like I've said, I'm not always that guy. I'm like, let them remake. I'm sick of remakes, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like if they want to redo something like The Crow with like modern effects, makeup, costuming, like that could be cool, I guess. But like it feels like there's a line where if you're going to cross it and do a cult classic, it has to be good to some degree, right? Like that's what's in my brain is like, it has to be. They're not going to screw that up.
But the thing about a cult classic is it's not necessarily good originally. It's a cult classic because there are cool bits to really enjoy about it. But I mean, I enjoyed The Crow when I watched it. I don't think it's necessarily a great movie.
Sure.
So to try to remake a cult classic, I don't know if it's ever been done well.
Especially if it is what it is because of its charm.
Yeah.
You can't really recreate charm.
No, right. It's charming because that's just like what they had to do at the time, like the technology, like all these things come together to give it that charm. You can't make it.
Like you could never remake Bloodsport and have it matter to people who love Bloodsport the way it does.
Right, because you can't make it. Even if you're trying to make it like that movie is, you can't.
It would either come off as a comedy.
Yep.
Like if you do it way too over the top.
Yep.
You could make a really cool action movie, I feel like, but I don't know that it never meets the expectation of like, you can't capture the cheese. And I mean, just the way it's kind of similar in that it was taking itself seriously. That's like why it worked.
Right.
And
even if it was insane, like with the voiceover,
dude, like you'd have to, like, you can't recreate that because that would feel like a comedy.
Yep.
You know? So yeah, it's very interesting. And I was hoping The Crow would just be like a cool installment, but I'm getting nervous the more I'm hearing about it.
Yeah. I think the only thing that has a chance right now as far as cult classics that are being remade or sequels is Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. I just had it 3 times. You're screwed.
Oh, come on,
Chesticles?
man. No! That's
damn.
4 times. It undoes it.
Oh, it gets rid of them? Shoot. Yeah, that one I don't say high hopes, but I definitely feel like they got everything to make it right.
They did.
They got, the characters back. They got, what's his face, the director?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. They got him to do it.
They have it's kind of a perfect
claymation. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but
I have.
Yeah.
I saw a teaser. I don't
Yeah.
think there was any claymation in it though. But the other thing that's interesting is they have Jenna Ortega, who is basically the modern.
Winona Ryder.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like she is that lane that like if you're gonna put someone in the movie, like
She's already Wednesday Addams.
right, and so she's worked with Tim Burton.
Yep.
But she's kind of like the I don't know. She's kind of like the secret ingredient that brings the classic to what's the word?
The modern audience.
Yeah, like modernity. Is that a word? It and keeps it the same because she's got something classic about her, and maybe it is just we've seen her as Wednesday, so it feels like she's in that universe already.
Right.
But it brings it to like modern cinema in a way that doesn't abandon its roots.
Right.
So she's kind of like this connector between then and now. I feel like.
So maybe that's what you need is like a little splash of modern,
Yeah.
but keep all the old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, having Tim Burton, having the original actors who really made it what it is.
But do you think that could work for The Crow?
I don't think so because.
I agree.
I mean, what do? You can't bring back the villains. I mean, you can't bring back nobody in that movie is as focal as Eric Draven. But I don't believe this Crow is Eric Draven, right?
That I don't know.
I have in my head that this is a different Crow, like from the because the comics cover multiple.
Yeah, I think we got a comment on one of our shorts
Right.
that was talking about how it's a different.
It's a different Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny though because his story is very similar. At least from what the trailer shows.
I wonder if they're keeping the same story, like the storyline of the original Crow, because they want to use the first movie as a reference. But I mean, I think that might have been the move. Granted, all the sequels were awful before, from what I understand. The move would be to make a different Crow, not use a different Crow's name so you could have a different design, but keep the same story. Be like the Crow, subtitle, whatever, so that it's a different story. You can make it its own thing, and it's not compared as hard. You know what I mean?
As opposed to being like a remake.
Yeah.
That they're trying to push.
Yeah.
Even though it's different.
Right. I don't know, but they could still run into the, edgelord criticism. They're just pushing it too hard and like, oh, you're so emo, bro.
You're trying too hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll see it. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll check it out too. I'm not running to the theaters to see it.
No.
But I do like this movie discussion in video games.
Oh, yeah, we are in video games. Holy Christmas.
We talked about comics.
We talked about comics. And then when we started talking about movies, I was like, all right, good. We're back to movies. This makes sense.
This
We've
is
been
where
in
we
video
need to
games
be.
the whole time. All right.
That's all I got. We can jump to somewhere else unless you want to call it.
I don't know. We broke an hour.
7:01 p.m.
Do we have other stuff to do? Yeah.
Maybe if we can pull it off, what we have to do.
All right. Should we give that a shot?
Sure.
All right, I guess we're going to wrap it. You know what I mean? So, listen, thank you for hanging out. And if you want to hang out with us on socials, you can find us at The Keep Up Podcast. That is on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. We have some YouTube videos up, so many. You can get yourself some extra bonuses over at patreon.com/keepup. A little announcement on that. I think we're going to lose the phone number on there because nobody's using it, which is totally fine. It's all good. But I think we're going to change up some of the perks on there because we're just learning what you guys are into and what you're not.
Yeah. If you don't like the stuff we're throwing out there, then we'll trash it.
Yeah.
And do some new stuff.
Maybe we'll update some things and, change some stuff that makes it more accessible to more people. But if you want to get what's on there right now, you're getting 2 videos a month. You're getting the Keep Up in Cricket City, the Patreon exclusive podcast. Yep. And there's also some bonus content that Tim has been finding in old folders that apparently we never posted.
Yep. At this point, what's today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
D part 1 and part 2 of the videos are out. There's 4 parts total, so it'll be...
This is a playthrough we did years ago that I thought was already out there. And
it's funny to watch.
It's a fun one. Tim, tell everybody where they can find you and all your other work.
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, on YouTube, on... whatever other sites. I was trying to think of a funny site. Napster. You can find me on Napster. If you do find me on Napster, please let me know because I shouldn't be on Napster. But Brett, where can everybody find you and your chesticles?
Oh, man. Every week with a different body part. You can find me on Instagram at This Drink I Like It. That's my personal IG. And we can hang out there if you want, but there's a link tree there that'll get you to all my other work. You can also find me at Sounds Like ATA on every platform. I have a brand new song out called Hubie. It's been out for about a week, a little over a week.
Keep it hot. Keep it hot.
And I want to thank everyone again who's been listening, checking out the music video. I'm very stoked on the video. Response has been really positive, and I shoot another one in a couple weeks, so I'm stoked about that. But please go listen to that, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sounds Like ATA or Animatronic the Abolisher on all streaming platforms. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble. Tim, your theme is PlayStation 4 Underwater. And you guys are the coolest. This has been episode number 291. Thanks for hanging out. I love you. Goodbye.
The sound of a PlayStation underwater. And so I'll leave you with this. Don't throw your consoles into the water. It's going to destroy them, and they'll make weird noises, and the fish will eat it, and they'll die, and the turtles will try to put their necks around the rings that are in the console, and they'll choke. Just don't throw your consoles in the water. Any kind of water. And recycle it properly. Thank you.